wine is flowing, so you know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour, and I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach. And as with me always is the Beans.
Or Jana.
Incorrect.
Correct.
Tell us where we're going today.
Where are we going today?
I did so well just now.
You did.
That was like really good.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That
We both held it together the whole time.
I was being very earnest with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, we didn't decide which one we're doing first. Let's get Halloweentown out of the way.
No, it's Eats. It's Eats. It's on it right there. It says Eats.
I want to do Halloweentown first.
No. All right, fine. No, I just did so well.
Well, we can pick back up where we leave off.
I saved it as Eats already.
Yeah, I mean, we can like open a new one, right?
No. It's done. It's Eats.
I don't want to do Eats first.
We just went on a detour in the middle of our pod. This is no longer about Epcot. Eats. It is about a does it hold up? Fine. There you go. Take us home.
It's not a detour because it's Halloweentown.
I don't know what this is anymore.
We're going to need to relabel this file.
No, I'm not relabeling anything. It's just going to be very confusing when I look at it. Go.
When I look at it.
When I look at it, too, because you labeled everything like a weirdo. You don't know how to save things.
I know how to save
You move files everywhere.
Because I didn't know that wasn't allowed.
Where do you think it's looking to find its files?
I thought everything was in the one file.
But you move.
Everything is in the one open
We're
thing.
2 minutes deep and it's already fucked. Go.
After such a wonderful intro.
There was a good, as good as that intro is, the rest of it's turning into shit. Let me pull up my notes. Go.
Or is it gold? Yes, this is an interesting one because Zach is the one who took notes this time.
I just didn't want to forget anything because I was like,
now you know why I do it.
Well, also my notes don't make sense.
They rarely do.
It's like 2 words.
Yeah, and do you think you're going to
One of them just says hands. Question mark, question mark.
Oh, that is because...
I know what that means, though.
Yeah.
We'll tell them what we're doing.
Okay, we are talking about...
Okay. Epcot Eats.
Shut up. We are talking about Halloweentown.
Halloweentown. There's 4 Halloweentowns we found out. One of them no one came back for except for the brother.
Yeah.
The last
he
one.
obviously didn't have much going on.
Return to Halloweentown?
Yeah.
It's Halloweentown 1,
but
2.
we're only talking about the first Halloweentown.
Well, we're going through all of them.
Eventually. Not tonight.
No, we're going to watch all of them tonight. They're a tight 86 minutes. Let's do it.
No.
This movie was 86 minutes and still felt a bit long. I could have really cleaned this thing up.
Halloweentown. A beloved DCOM classic from 1998.
I got to assume it's beloved since there's so many.
It is. Most people who...
Well, you got Debbie Reynolds. You got royalty in this movie.
You do. And April O'Neil.
Yeah. Well, I had to look that up because I was like...
She looks familiar.
This lady is so familiar. It's driving me nuts. I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, it's April O'Neil from the first Ninja Turtles. Continue. That is one of my notes. It just says April O'Neil. I just didn't want to forget to bring that up.
That it was April O'Neil?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Yeah, so I only saw this once when it first came out in 1998, so I was like 12.
This seems like one of those ones you'd watch a bunch. That's weird.
Well,
I guess there's no way to watch it.
Yeah, there wasn't streaming back then,
no way.
and you just kind of had to wait for stuff to show up on Disney Channel when you were home.
Did they
and
just
nobody
not play
else was
this
using the
every
TV.
Halloween?
I don't recall.
Or was it Hocus Pocus at that point?
But at that point in my life, my grandparents were the only ones who had cable. We didn't have it at home. So any Disney Channel watching we were doing was from their house.
Well, off the bat, I was like, whoa, Mark Mothersbaugh did the music for this. And you're like, I don't care. And I was like, that's like the lead singer of Devo, who also does a ton of soundtrack stuff, like Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which has a killer soundtrack.
Cool.
It didn't stand out as a great soundtrack to me, though. It probably was a cash grab. He probably needed the money.
You just said it was a great soundtrack and then that
it
didn't stand out.
Life Aquatic was a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
This one didn't stand out.
Oh, yeah. Well, the way you said it made it sound.
No, this one just seems like he's like, I'm not doing anything. I'll just do Halloweentown. Anyways, continue.
Okay. So rewatching this, in my brain, I got it mixed up a little bit with Phantom of the Megaplex, which you have not watched yet.
That looks dumb.
Oh, it's so good.
All these look dumb, to be fair, though.
but rewatching it, it was still kind of fun. It gave me the Halloween feels, and everything. I did have issues though.
Oh no! What are your issues? It was
My
a perfect script.
issues were that, and well, it wasn't so much with the script as it was
No
the
one's
costuming.
hands were painted.
Nobody's hands or arms or necks were painted. It's like they put them just in masks. And
They
like,
get to Halloweentown, and there's always like, well, first off, I don't understand what they are. Like sometimes they're just like a nonsense thing.
like a humanoid cat.
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, well, that's a werewolf. I'm like, no, that's like a dog person. Like I don't know what you're supposed to be. Like, and then again, no one's like they didn't finish their makeups. If this were Face Off, they'd be like, you didn't do the hands. You could have just slapped some like something on there.
Well, if those were Face Off too, they're like, you just throw a mask on this person, make
Yeah,
them
there was
emote.
a lot of masks in the background.
I mean, given it is Disney Channel in 1998.
And there's some people who just have like blue hair, and you're like, I'm assuming they're a witch. But like, it was some of the stuff was like really good. I wrote down specifically the skeleton taxi driver.
That was
I thought that was
really
actually
good.
really cool. I was
Yeah.
like, I like how they did this because like first off, you thought it was claymation. I was like, no, that's a puppet. That's like they had like an animatronic in there. And like
well,
it was
animatronic is different than puppet.
well, like I think it was like being puppeted. I don't think it's like no, I don't think it's an animatronic. Like it was being controlled with like a puppeteer. I'm saying, but it was interesting because I was like, you never see a skeleton move its skull like that. But I was like, it kind of works for this, and it's kind of like I was like, they spent a lot of money on that one. I think, like that's where their budget went because some of the other monsters were garbage, and then some of them were actually like really good. And I was like, huh. They really like had to budget in the background for some of these characters. But yeah, like the fact that they didn't paint anyone's hands was driving me absolutely insane. One character looked exactly like a gremlin. I was like, I'm not sure how you didn't get sued for that. But the guy on the bus, I was like, that's a
I
gremlin.
get sued. Nobody cares about
They're like,
DCOM.
we're going to get you for this
1998.
DCOM. And like Joe Dante is going to come after you. And Steven Spielberg. I also said, WTF is this kid? That was one of my notes. The gremlins, April O'Neil, hands. I mean, I could see if I saw this movie as a kid, I probably would have really liked it.
I mean, while we were watching it, you said a couple times like Olivia would love this movie.
Yeah, I think if
You
I'd
know.
seen this when I was little, I think I would have had a more special place in my heart. I don't really care right now about it. I was like, I could see most of the other ones you've shown me. I'm like, ugh.
While we were watching it, I was thinking to myself, just like, I could watch this every year at Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should.
It was fun. I feel like it really captured the essence of Halloween.
All right.
It just felt, I don't know, maybe I'm just ready. I'm just
It had
ready
Mr.
for
Boogedy
Halloween.
vibes at parts for me.
It did. It did have Mr.
There
Boogedy
definitely had
vibes.
some Mr. Boogedy vibes with the main Phantom guy, who was
Yeah.
not Michael Scott.
Not Michael Scott. He looked like Michael Scott.
He definitely looked like Michael Scott was a smooth operator, though. I wrote that down. I
He
said
was.
smooth operator because he was all like, "Hey, here's a dead rose. I'm a warlock."
I thought, okay, so like I said, it's been since I was 12, so, almost 25 years since I've seen this.
Hmm.
And things are like splotchy, you don't really remember the parent storylines as well because you're not really
I don't-
involved in those.
There was a lot of stuff that wasn't explained, anyways. What was this torch that they had to light? Was that
I
ever
don't know.
explained?
I don't think that's really explained, or like
They're just like, just do
how
this.
she knew the stuff to get
I don't
for
know.
the spell. I don't know, or maybe I just zoned out during those parts.
I genuinely had like 2 or 3 laughs though, like when they're like, "Well, Dylan's just thinking it's a hallucination anyway, so it doesn't matter." And then he says, "Hold on, I wrote this one down." Where he's like,
He had a good line.
"Ghosts are dead. Why do they worry about fitness?" I was just like, "That's pretty funny."
Yeah.
Because they go to like a gym to get ghost sweat,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I didn't understand that part. Like they were just like, she was putting on a towel and like going woo, and I was like,
Yeah. So
Why is it supposed to become sweat?
I think from the beginning it was very obvious that the mayor was the bad guy.
"Oh, obviously, because he's a smooth operator."
But I thought when like Gwen the mom came back, he might like change what he was
For a
planning
second,
or
I thought it was like
something. I don't know.
maybe he was like the one who kills the dad, because that wasn't explained. Like what happened to their dad?
Yeah, and part of me also expected too that the dad would be there somewhere.
Just hiding, just being like, "Oh, I love it here."
Yeah, I don't know. Like
It's
I
some
just
normie living there. He's like, "I'm living with the grandma right now." Like Debbie Reynolds and I are just chilling, and they're like, "Dad, you've been here the whole time." He's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I have. It's so much cooler here. Taxes are so low."
They also don't explain either why the mom is so against her heritage.
I think you get like you try to get a sense of like he was a normie and she wanted to be normal, because I think it's obvious that the mom kind of rubs her the wrong way.
Yeah, because she wants
So
to be normal, and
this is her rebelling into her 30s still.
yeah. But I mean, but she clearly went through all the witch training and stuff,
I guess.
which I mean, maybe she didn't have any choice about. But even if you want to be with like, I don't know, it kind of goes back to like Bewitched,
Yes.
I don't know, just like,
It felt like, but what wasn't Debbie Reynolds in Bewitched?
no,
Like the movie? She wasn't in that? For some reason, maybe it's just this I'm thinking. I think I'm getting some of this mixed up with
but like in
fucking bed knobs and broomsticks too.
in Bewitched, the TV show, like Elizabeth Montgomery, she's very happy about being a witch, and yeah, she tries to hide it from Darren and everything, but she's proud of where she comes from, and Darren accepts who she is. So I'm just drawing the parallelism between like she's married a human.
I think you're digging in this too much. Also, it was like
but it's just like
it felt very much like a Harry Potter rip for a little bit of like she's like you're a witch, Harry, like kind of thing. And I was like, oh, this is like the same time frame, but this is before the movie, but after the books. So I was wondering if there was any like things they were taking from. I don't know. Maybe not. Also, side note, the guy who directed this edited Return of the Jedi.
Interesting.
I was like, whoa, that's weird. He was the editor on that. And I was like, that's kind of bananas.
That is bananas.
He had like a bunch of like TV kind of like directing things, but I was just like, this guy edited Return of the Jedi. You don't need to do anything after that.
I doubt editors get paid very much like that.
Yeah, but that's a story right there. Probably has some crazy stories, especially with that one. Yeah, I could see if I had seen this when I was a kid, I would have liked it a
As
lot.
an adult, what are your thoughts?
I think it was fine. For like a DCOM, I could see why people like it.
Yeah, so I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think as far as a DCOM goes, this is I like Halloween stuff more anyways. So it's like I mean, look where you're in. Like
I think
you're in the Haunted Mansion.
I think that is part of it is just like I'm a little biased because it is a Halloween themed movie.
Well, Halloween's the best.
It is, but I do have issues with the costuming, the makeup department.
It takes you out of it because you're like, wait, these are weird, hideous monsters.
Like this guy walks by with like a reptilian, amphibious kind of face, and then you see the back of him, and his arms aren't done. What's over his human arms? The one fish
guy was completely done. So I'm like, wait, you do understand you need to do it. You just chose not to do it on anyone.
Well, the thing that gets me too, okay, like if you don't think their hands or arms are going to be seen or whatever, and it just happens to be in a shot that you're not expecting, you think, oh, nobody's going to see that. But the fact that they didn't even do the necks, they didn't even do any kind of blending.
Just like put them in a long sleeve shirt and put gloves on them.
Like turtleneck at that point too.
You could have easily done like colorful gloves to make it look like their hands, and that was it.
Yeah.
And
they really sheeped out on that part.
It really could have been covered up pretty easily, and they're just like the costume department was like, nah, it'll be fine.
Also, one thing I gotta say too, I don't know how Debbie Reynolds is in this film, but her skin looked really good. Like I was noticing that she had like 0 lines.
Oh,
it looked so good.
I did see one of my notes. Like there was a direct callback to the salon scene to Beetlejuice.
Well, and there was a callback to Mary Poppins too, with how she enters with her umbrella.
Yeah.
And apparently Julie Andrews was asked to be in this role first.
Whoa, that would have been a little bit. You're a little overqualified. I think Debbie Reynolds is overqualified, but she was having a good old time, I think.
Oh, she was. I absolutely love Julie Andrews, but I feel like Debbie Reynolds knew more how to like.
Oh, I don't think
she's not so British.
I think she would have been like a little too hoity-toity. But there was...
Okay, so Debbie Reynolds was 66 when this came out. Her face looked spectacular.
All right, you heard it here first.
She had a few smile lines, but nothing on her forehead, nothing on her eyes.
This is before the Botox craze went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, she could have still had a facelift, but it was very well done.
Digital makeup wasn't really a thing back then. Yeah. But there was a line they actually directly ripped from Beetlejuice, I think.
Which was?
What did they say? I didn't write that down. I just said like the whole salon scene felt more like the waiting room in Beetlejuice because there was all the weirdos just like in line, kind of like sitting. But then they specifically said a Beetlejuice line, and I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, this feels like Beetlejuice this part, and then they said something, so I was like, okay, so it's an homage to Beetlejuice, I guess too, because like the people are nutso looking. Where in Beetlejuice, they're just people that died, but they're usually just like blue or weird. There's a guy with like a shark on his leg, but this one was like weirdos. Like sometimes they're just like, what is that guy? And his hands are normal.
Yeah.
It's a dog person, but their hands are completely normal.
It makes no sense.
They should really go back and fix that, like George Lucas, that shit. Anyways, any final thoughts?
I give it a thumbs up.
Oh, do you now? You give this Epcot episode a thumbs up. How far we've traveled on this detour.
It's not a detour.
It is because like where it started, I thought we were doing Epcot.
It's still Disney related.
Oh, it's adjacent.
It's
A Dehu.
I think it's good. It's good.
It was fun.
I could see myself watching it
I
again.
can see myself watching it over and over. If I'm gonna watch a Halloween movie though, that's Disney. It's gonna be Hocus Pocus.
100%.
100%. Maybe not the second one. First one all the way.
Yeah.
100%.
What about Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy?
I'd watch that again.
I would too.
We need to go back to that and do a Dehu. Because I figured,
Dehu?
does it hold up? Dihu. Dehu.
I don't like that.
What do you want to call it? Does it hold up? No, I'm like, no, it takes too long to explain it. Dehu.
All right.
Get it. Dehu.
You're probably going to have to remind me of that a few times.
No, you'll be like, oh, that's that stupid thing he said. Dehu. Then you're like, after a few episodes, you'll be like, I kind of like it. Dehu. All right. Take us home.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day. Yeah.